Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick recap of why Aquinas believes that we do have a purpose. When I say we, I don't just mean sort of us as human beings, but all things within the universe. So, Aquinas believed that all things within the universe, be they plants, animals, birds, or human beings, all of them have a purpose, and we're all seeking to achieve that purpose, that goal of our existence. So, flowers bloom for a reason, animals eat for a reason, etc. Okay, the world works the way that it does for a reason, for a purpose, ultimately. Now, Aquinas rather believed that this purpose could be observed within the world. So, according to Aristotle, we can actually observe this purpose in action in the world. So, literally there, someone looking and seeing telos, seeing purpose within the world. The example that he uses in his teleological argument is an archer and an arrow kind of being guided towards its purpose. But he thinks we can literally go out and empirically observe things moving towards and acting for a purpose, acting for a reason, not just happening randomly. Although he acknowledges that plants do have a purpose, he does feel, Aquinas, that they're acting towards their purpose blindly. So when a plant grows towards the sun, it's not consciously aware that that's what it's doing, that it's achieving its purpose in so moving, in so growing, but it is still acting towards its purpose. When an animal instinctively eats and mates, they're not aware that they're acting for a purpose necessarily, they're just acting on instinct. Okay, so slightly more intelligent than a plant. It's not entirely blind, they've got some instinct there, but it's not in the same category as human beings. When we act towards our purpose, we're doing so because we have reason, we have the ability to reason. And that gift from God helps to guide us towards our purpose, helps us to work out what is best for us, not only what, but why things are best for us. So, is it best for me to go out and have 16 different children with 16 different people, or should I nurture one family unit? I can use my gift of reason and work out what would be best for me, for kind of future generations, as it were, for me to do. So Aquinas argued that God has made us in his image. It's difficult to kind of draw that without being problematic, but the idea is that we've been created to resemble God. We're not identical to God, but we resemble God in some ways. And our ability to reason is one of those ways. So God's made us in his image and with a specific purpose in mind. God has given us a particular telos, and it's special, it's unique, hence the unique gift of reason. It's a unique telos with a unique gift to try and achieve it. So, with our unique gift of reason, we can work out the 5 primary precepts, and we know that those will help us to achieve our ultimate purpose, this special, unique purpose that we have as individuals. So, Aristotle believed that the purpose of human life was eudaimonia, so kind of it's a word that's translated in slightly different ways, but it means kind of flourishing, happiness, kind of doing well type thing. Okay, so remember, Aristotle's a person that inspired Aquinas' views on telos, and this is largely where they differ. So Aristotle believes that, as I say, humans' purpose is to flourish, is to kind of be a good human, to be happy. But Aquinas rather, disagreed with Aristotle on this. He felt that the ultimate telos for us was actually to be reunited with God. So to kind of to come back together and form a union with God. Ultimately, all of our kind of our actions and our kind of trying to achieve our purpose, our using reason, etc. This is the ultimate end that it should be aiming towards. But he did believe that, or sorry, he didn't believe rather, that we could achieve this union with God in this life. He believed that being reunited with God, being a part of God again, was something that we could only achieve in the afterlife. So it kind of makes it sound a little bit like, well, what's the point of this life then if, we can't ultimately achieve our true purpose in this life? But he didn't feel that way. He didn't feel that this life was kind of meaningless. At the end of the day, God has placed us here and God has given us this gift of reason. God has given us the ability to work out these primary precepts because he wants us to behave in a certain way. He wants to work things out for ourselves and try and kind of use this gift of rationality to he's placed within us and kind of this inclination towards doing good, the synderesis rule. He wants us to use all of those things within this life, I guess, to demonstrate the kind of person that we are. But ultimately, which makes sense as a Christian, he thinks that the true purpose of our existence is less kind of personal and one-on-one and more of a non-individual reuniting with God in the next life. So it's not a personal achievement. It's more of a, how should I describe this? It's not that you as an individual get to sit and spend time with God one on one in the afterlife. The ultimate aim is to kind of to get your spirit, your soul, in a nearness to God. But in the afterlife, it's less of a possession that you have. So it's not necessarily your soul, if that makes sense. So it's kind of a disembodied